Leo Martin. To be presented by the Massachusetts State Boxing Commissioner, Hall of Famer, and classmate, Jocos Ananian.
Well, the class of 1934 is the greatest class in the whole high school, and I'll tell you why. Not only we got a good Hall of Famer like myself that come in, but the 1934 class, we're still with you. We haven't left you, Watertown High School. We haven't. George Walker is the class of 34, Jocko Ananian. We both chair every year for 36 years the Watertown Belmont Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving Day dinner. We have it on a Monday and they play Thursday. I want you to know that. 36 years. And we have the sponsor, the American Legion in Belmont, American Legion there, and the Watertown Elks. But the class of 34, George Walker and I, 36 years, since 1959. Figure it out. Now we have Leo Martin. He was the greatest guy. He was a tall person. We all loved him and respected him. He was, I would say, would have been the greatest golfer like Hogan, Palmer, and them. And don't think I'm wrong. This guy could play golf. McDermott's cousin says McDermott would give him two aside, which means two strokes aside. No way. This Leo Martin was great. He was captain of hockey, captain of golf, but his greatest achievement was golf. Very cool, calm, and collective, and he won the state tournament, New England tournaments, and his record is still there because when he went to war, he was the New England champ and the Massachusetts state champ, and then he went to war, and he was in a Navy, and the submarines or whatever just lost at sea. And he was on his way. If he ever come back, he was going to get married. There was a nice young lady waiting for him and all this sad stuff. But he would have been the greatest golfer you ever saw. And I kid you not, because he showed all that potential. But he was lost at sea, and that's the tragedy. But they did name that greatest course up there in Weston, Leo J. Martin Memorial Golf Course. So you could see how great he was. So with all these records, and that record stayed during the war for 8 years because they just didn't have time to have any more championships during the war. So he was like the champ for 8 years, and it went down with him in the sea. And tonight we want his sister, Kathleen Martin, to come up and take the presentation. And Kathleen is in the class of 35, and she 1935. No, and she's having her 60th reunion in September. Kathleen. Hey, there you are.
Whether he belongs to the class of 34 or 35.
So I attend
he
both.
He comes to both and bothers us both. Right?
Right there.
Oh, can't do anything without him.
No, there's a
or
picture
with
there.
him.
Yeah. There's a picture there. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't.
Bang it away. Now, here's your plaque for Leo.
You didn't leave me anything to say.
No, you better remember what to say.
What do I got to remember?
Well, that he was
You said everything.
I know it. We'll repeat it.
Well, I can go down the stairs better than you can. And he's supposed to be a year but you don't know that because you're always coming to our reunions because we have the best. Well, there's nothing left to say, but he did talk about Watertown. Leo was born in Watertown, and he was still living in Watertown when he died. He's been dead for 52 years, and he's not forgotten. I'm the last of the Martin family, the immediate Martin family. So that's why I'm here. And this is my nephew that doesn't think I can stand up here, and he'll take over if I fail. He's the only nephew that Leo ever saw. All the rest of my family over here, nieces and nephews, all were born after Leo died, and he's still missed. And he had, as Jocko said, a lovely romance with a woman in the class of 35. There we go, 34 and 35 again. And I'd like you to meet her, Elfrida Doggett. We always consider her as a member of our family because another month and she would have joined the family. Now with me I have Randolph's wife Ruth, and then Edward's wife Ethel, and then these are their children right around here, and great-grandchildren. He only lived to be 27 years old, and we all know that he would have done more things if he had been allowed to live longer. And one of the greatest things I remember of them when they were in their early 20s, they both, my brother Edward and he, who were twins, inseparable, probably would have died together, except Edward didn't pass his eye exam for the Navy. He wasn't 20/20 vision. So I forget what I was going to say. Join the club? Hey, you didn't graduate in 35. So I guess I've said enough. And all I can say is, that was the trip he was going to take, because Leo and Edward was the first time they both qualified for the National Amateurs, and it was over in Portland, Oregon. And they kept saying, how are we going to get there? Because we're going to get there. And they did, and they had 3 young boys, which they always had somebody following them. Wherever they went, they had their little crew. And they got over there, and they didn't even qualify there when they got. But it still was one of their highlights of their life. And I thank you for this award, and I'll share it with Elfrida.